Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. Today, this reading is about what is blocking you and how to overcome that block. So, let's start with pile number 1. We have the zodiac sign Libra, Leo, Capricorn, and Gemini. And your significator card is Theft. Second pile, we have Aquarius, Aries, Virgo, and Taurus. Your card is gaining a lot of money. The third pile, we have Sagittarius, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Your card is bereavement. I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile with your intuition, with your significator card, the chosen tarot deck, or your zodiac sign. I will see you in your pile. Pile number 1, your card is Theft, and the card Theft can be quite literal, about like a warning about someone who wants your possessions or something getting lost. It can also mean that you have something or someone in your circle that is draining your energy or your attention, or that is gaining from your loss. And it's an unpleasant situation, something that you need to address. So I will start with what is blocking you, and then we'll go into how to overcome that block. So first, let's get some cards for what is blocking you. Whoa, too many cards. Okay, what is blocking pile number 1's path right now? Okay. And let's see what the tarot has to say. So we have independence with the moon in Aquarius, health, sun in Virgo, assertion, sun in Aries, and vision with the sun in Pisces. There's a lot of sun energy here. So maybe something that's blocking your vision. The Magician, Three of Swords, Ten of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the Emperor. So right away, I feel like there is someone in your circle, it's confirmed to me with the Magician here, that is using their abilities, their skills to create a situation that is unpleasant for you, or that is draining you, or maybe creating some sort of health hazard for you. Something is draining your life force. That's how I'm seeing this. And I think that it's someone who possibly is has more authority or has some authority, and maybe is taking advantage of that authority, or using it in an unhealthy way. I think that you have to claim your independence. You have to detach from this situation. But this person or this context is kind of blocking you. It can be a professional career situation, like you are working in a place that you don't really enjoy, and possibly you have like a boss that is not really good for you, that has a bad energy or bad attitude, someone who uses their authority in a way that is hurtful. I also feel like someone in your circle is hurting you with their words. So it might be in the same context, in the same professional context, but it can also be someone who is closer to you, more in your intimate circle of friends or of romantic connections, possibly. And I can see that claiming your independence from this situation is still maybe a little bit hard for you at the moment, but you have such I feel like you have a lot of compassion and love to give, and this person is taking advantage of that. There's a lot of abundance here with the 10 of Cups and the Queen of Cups, and it's kind of hitting a wall with this Emperor here and the assertion. I feel like there's this imbalance in this relationship, and there is a kind of a manipulative side to this, because the magician can also be someone who can use their words or their actions to steer, to lead people into their own objective, their own final objective. And I think that you are kind of hurting from this. So there, I can see also there are two options here, that you are either aware of this and you're trying to process your feelings so that you can be independent from this, or you feel like maybe even physical symptoms that you can't really understand why they're happening to you, and you can't really pinpoint, the origin of this. It's not disease or illness, it's more like unease, anxiety, sadness. Sometimes I feel like there's this melancholic feeling that comes from this relationship, and it's hard to be in this environment. I really feel like you have to change this. And this is also blocking your vision. So this is also blocking, this person and this situation is blocking your perspective on life. It's making you kind of close your eyes to opportunities that might be coming your way, and you're not even aware, because your energy is so off balance. Okay, so this is the block. Let's see how you will overcome this. How will pile number 1 overcome this situation? Okay, only 2. We have loss with Saturn in Pisces, and endurance with Sun in Scorpio. So, right away, I want to say that if you work in healthcare or in any area that is related to health, this reading can be very specifically telling you that you have to make a change in your career options and possibly work in a more holistic, possibly even esoteric way. So maybe this is a more like a need to have a more spiritual approach, and the way to work on yourself and also help others is to make a major shift in your career if it's related to health. This is a very specific message for someone out there that's very specific. Because maybe this situation is happening because it's showing you that you are more sensitive and you have this subtlety to you and this sweetness that needs to be honored. So if you change your career and you change your approach, people will expect that from you and they won't hurt you. It will be considered like it's a superpower, it's a strength, it's not a weakness, because maybe someone is exploiting that weakness. Actually, it's not a weakness. Sorry, the words are getting jumbled. So it's not a weakness, but it's a skill. But if it's put in the wrong context, people will use that against you. They will take advantage of you. So you need to find a context that is right for you, so that that specific characteristic, skill that you have that might be considered complementary healthcare or holistic healthcare. So for example, if you are like a doctor that works in a hospital, just, follows all the rules and regulations that are very generalized, you need to have a more personal touch. And sometimes those systems are quite impersonal, and they're good for a specific type of people and a specific type of specific set of skills. But sometimes people are too sensitive for that. They have this subtlety to them that is best applied in a more personal context, in a maybe like a clinic or some sort of practice that allows you to connect more deeply with the people you are helping. And yeah, so okay, this was very specific, but let's see what the tarot has to say about how to remove this block in your life right now. Queen of Cups, there you go. To me, Queen of Cups is the card of the clairvoyant, of the person who, or clairaudient, or whatever skill you have. If you read the tarot, if you know astrology, I'm so sorry. So if you have any interest in the holistic healing arts, if you have any interest in counseling, studying any sort of area that is more connected to spirituality, I think that this reading is very clear for you. It can also be artistic. Queen of Cups can be artistic, and this is confirming that this is your essence. So you have a lot to give, and you have to let it flow. You have to be more creative and expressive. You need to express that emotional depth, and also to connect to people in that way. And there's this context here, and possibly even a person who's really not in that mood at all. Possibly it's even a person who is suffering also, has a lot of suffering themselves, and can't really allow what what you bring, the healing that you bring. It's not possible. It's incompatible. Two of Wands. Yeah. Two of Swords. Three of Wands. Ten of Swords. Seven of Swords. Yeah, Six of Wands. There you go. You have a lot to do. I feel like there's a lot that you have to do. There's a lot that you can do also. You have all the power. You just need to change your mind. I feel like there's this really drastic shift that you have to make. And it also needs you to be peaceful with your decision. So maybe in a way, this card here, the loss card, is also a card of cutting your losses, of understanding that whenever we move forward in life, we must leave something behind. There's no way we can revive, we can refresh life if there isn't some sort of loss, because you can't just fill your life with stuff or with things indefinitely and carry it around with you without transformation and without letting go. Yeah. This is why the Ten of Swords is also here. So the way to unblock this is also to let go of the past, of what has happened, to understand that things can never be the same again. Because you have this, and you have to honor that talent, that skill. It will possibly make you feel lonely. No. I think that you already feel lonely. But it doesn't matter. Although it might be hard, it doesn't matter as long as you take the steps towards the change. So maybe right now it's not very useful to think about it a lot. It's not very useful to debate in your mind what has happened, what is happening, how you feel, the correct way to do this, the correct way to think about things. I think it's much more productive for you to just take the next step and the next step and the next step, and not really pay too much attention to your own thoughts right now. So more action, less thinking. This will put you in this flow state. It will allow you to just go with be in the present moment and go with the flow of life and not be too worried about making the wrong decision or making a lot of plans. I don't think that those will help you. Those states of mind and states of being will help you at all. You will reap the benefits of your actions if you slowly do things, if you slowly do what is needed, because this is a very drastic change for you to express this talent and this skill. Maybe your upbringing was very different from this, or maybe it also came as a shock to you that you had this depth and this need for self-expression, for connection with others. Maybe you also thought that you were very rational and very objective and very I'm hearing self-reliant, but I'm more inclined to like thinking that you are very independent and that you don't really if you wouldn't focus so much on that connection side of things, even in your career or in your work environment. But maybe now you're more inclined to open your heart. But I feel like this is a drastic change because maybe it's hard to combine like the professional side with the more emotional side of you. But if you are more harmonious, more balanced with yourself in this aspect, it won't give so much opportunity for people who are imbalanced to be near you and to throw you off balance to help in that, because they confirm the stress and they confirm the sadness. This is getting a little bit like law of attraction kind of, but it's a little bit like that because you do need to lose a part of you so that you can attract a more beneficial context for you that respects this giving, sweet, kind, open-hearted, loving side of you that needs to be expressed even in your professional context, your professional life. So not really paying too much attention to your thoughts right now, to your inner critic, being more in a flow state, just doing things, acting more and thinking less. That would be very beneficial for you so that you can overcome this block quickly. And victory is assured. You just need to take a few steps. And I think you can already see there's this build up here. You can already see a little bit of the results of the like a hint, okay, like a taste, a small taste of what life can be. But it can be so much better. It can be really strong, that connection that you make with your own destiny, with your own mission here, if you include this softer, emotional, sweet, open-hearted side. And also reveal this skill. Share this skill and this superpower almost that you have if you are interested in the holistic healing and tarot or astrology or something similar to that, and not be afraid to express that, to use that to help others. Beautiful reading. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2. Your card is gaining a lot of money. So this is about your block. Okay. So gaining a lot of money is exactly that. It's about gaining a lot of money. It's also about gambling. There's a little bit of a warning here. You also have this little devil character here with the rat. There's a little bit of a warning here about gambling and the possibility of loss in gambling. But overall, this is a very positive card, and it's about success in whatever you are doing. It's a very good card, very positive. But let's see, what is this block? What is blocking pile number 2? Okay, let's get the tarot first. And then we have, we already have the 4 of Cups. There's a block there. What else do we have for pile number 2? We have excitement with Mercury in Gemini. Acquisition with the Sun in Taurus. Enthusiasm with the Sun in Sagittarius. Wow, excitement, enthusiasm. And flirtation with Venus in Sagittarius. Okay. We have the Woodward. The Woodward is the strength card in this deck. A lot of excitement, a lot of power. The Hermit, the hooded man. 6 of Stones with exploitation. And Ace of Arrows with breath of life. So what is blocking you? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit silent. So I think that I kind of get it right now. There's something here about being very excited, of course, and enthusiastic about, I believe it's a social setting, something about a particular social circle that was very interesting, and maybe you thought it was a very good opportunity, but now you feel left out or blocked away from that circle, or you didn't really understand how to get in that circle. Or maybe there was this sort of a bet that you made that a group of people or a project or a company or something that you were working on that was possibly in a group with other people, the team, you were really betting, strongly on this team, and something happened or nothing happened. That's how I feel like. It's more like there was a very enthusiastic beginning and then it's just quickly faded. And it's like it's harder now. So it's the hard part. So the start, that very enthusiastic beginning, that, like the lovers that are really fueled by love in those first, days or months or years of their relationship. They're really in love, and it's almost like they don't have to eat, and then it kind of waned, and it's kind of disappointing you, and it's also leaving you out of something, because maybe you needed this so you could get another thing, but it didn't really work. It can also be that, and the major block here is the fact that you are very enthusiastic and that you spent a lot of energy cultivating this without having a balanced approach, without having more caution, because there is the need for endurance. There is the need for continuing effort. And maybe now you're not into that, because maybe this is not exactly what you thought it was. Okay, let's see how. Maybe there I will get more information about the blockage itself if I see how to overcome. How do you overcome this block? What is this about? Practicality. Moon in Capricorn. Chop wood, carry water, everyday life. Fulfillment, Saturn in Sagittarius. And ostentation, Saturn in Taurus. Wow, a lot of Saturn energy here, a lot of Sun here. So this is more about your personality, and this is more about integrating the transpersonal in the personal, because Saturn is the last of the personal planets, or it can be considered the frontier. So it's the place where the individual meets the collective responsibility, or the responsibility he has with the collective. So how do you remove this block? It is by focusing on what you can do in the immediate moment. So in the present moment, what you can do right now, not really focusing so much on what the future, not the profits, but more like what the result, the final result can be, focusing more on the practical, pragmatic, day-to-day actions that you can, the decisions that you can also make on a daily basis, more humble. They're much more humble, because this is kind of flamboyant, and there's a lot of it's a different expression of a reality. I don't think that if you think that there isn't that much change, it's just more of a perspective that you change about what is happening. It's your perspective that changes. It's not really something that you, like a magic, like you get a magic wand and suddenly change everything. I don't think it's like that at all. It's more your mindset changes about what's happening, and you are more down to earth. Maybe you realize that you already have done so much, maybe thinking more in terms of what you already achieved, and focusing more on communicating that, on presenting that on a daily basis, presenting that or integrating that sense of gratitude in your present, in your presence. And that implies that you are aware of what you have achieved. It's interesting because you have acquisition here and ostentation, and it's Taurus. So Taurus is about, in this case, about material abundance. So acquiring something, it can be a relationship, it can be being in a specific social circle, having good friendships, friendships that nurture you. This is also something that benefits our bodies, our material existence. So anything that benefits our material existence. And ostentation, Saturn in Taurus. Ostentation is showing others how much you have. But to show others how much you have to have this sense of fulfillment, of achievement with Saturn in Sagittarius. So maybe there's this playfulness about your achievements, or this kind of, it's easy to discard certain things that you have achieved, and maybe they are more important than you give yourself credit. Giving yourself more credit for what you do is the way to solve this block. Okay, what else? We have already a lot of information. What else can pile number 2 do? The Princess of Wands, the Page of Wands. I think this, again, this is something about communication, showing off. 10 of Cups. Yeah, showing off, but in a good way. Like, I'm so grateful because I don't have like exactly the thing that I thought I would have. It wasn't my plan, but I have this and this and this. Sometimes this is an effort for us. This is something that is not very intuitive in general for us, because we are always looking for the next thing that we have to do. And sometimes we have this list of the to-do list. Maybe we should focus also more on making lists of what we have done in the past, because the to-do list is always growing, and there's always more stuff to put in there, and it gives us this constant feeling of never achieving, right? So it's important to practice this, the list, also making lists of what you have done and what you are grateful for in your life. This is very common advice, I know, but it's so important. Writing and expressing, communicating that. Writing is a great way to integrate that. It's just, it's a very healthy practice for the brain and for the mind. But there are also other ways. Talking about it with other people who love you and who share your joy for certain subjects, or who also want to see you thrive, or maybe to participate in that team effort, because I feel like there's this need to kind of fuel the team, motivate the team again, and maybe you are a very important piece here. So if you're not motivated, and if you feel left out in any way, it will kind of poison, let's say, the whole energy of the team. The Queen of Wands, again, it's really important, the communication, the expression, the representation, being the representative for that good feeling, for that enthusiasm, for that motivation. It's very important that you are the driving force here. In the Ace of Cups, you will change people's hearts about, someone will have a change of heart, I think, because of that, and you will also feel great. Yeah, Five of Swords, Ace of Swords, Five of Swords. Let me just see the outcome and I will understand how. Okay, Ace of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles with work. So, yeah. This might also mean that someone needs to step down so that you can step up. From a role, because I really see the need to be the leading person. And maybe this will imply that someone else has to lose that job or lose that position. And it's really making you it's like there's mixed feelings about this, because it's like there's a loss, or maybe you have to fire someone, or you have to admit to a certain, or something that you might consider a defeat or a loss, but it's just a stepping stone so that things can start over and that the work can continue. Because there's a lot of work to be done. I really feel like there's a lot of applied effort here that needs to be done so that you can achieve what you want. But there's also the need to be passionate, to keep the motivation, strong. And for that to happen, something needs to be moved away. Something needs to leave. Or someone. There might be a change in leadership in a project that you're working on. And you are either the leader or you are part of the change, part of the motivation that changes things. In a certain sense, I can also see some sort of politic going on here. So if you are working in politics or something that is related to policy making or to an institution that needs to be kind of revived, because it's very it's like running on fumes. That's how I see it. So maybe it's kind of lacking funds with the gaining a lot of money. You need the right person to represent that organization so that you can get the funds and get the enthusiasm going, get the attention of the people. And maybe this there has to be some sort of change in the makeup of the institution, specifically in the leadership, and you are involved in that somehow. If this is more personal, to me, this is telling me that you need to be bolder, to present your ideas in a more upfront way, that you need to be more obvious with what you want, to state what you want to other people. If you feel like you're not achieving what you want in life, and that you are maybe not also being paid enough, here with the exploitations, now that I think about it, yeah. Maybe you're thinking that you are in an unfair situation, work situation, and you're not being paid enough. Stepping up and fighting for your rights can empower you tremendously. Even if you had to leave that job, you will find another very easily. I feel like there's a smooth transition. So either someone is losing an argument with you, or you are cutting your losses in a sense and saying like, okay, this is not the situation I want for myself, and I will find another that will benefit me, and I am very down to earth, and I know what I'm worth. I know that I have a lot, I bring a lot to the table. So don't not being afraid to be ostentatious in a way with your own skills, or with your, with the things that you're really, that really motivate you, that you're passionate about. So I think it's a challenging situation, because the way you manage your energy levels is very important, that you don't overexert yourself, and that you don't that you focus your energy towards the right change, let's say, and that you don't end up feeling like you're over investing in something. So this is really telling you, like, show your skills, show off in a way, show off, be, present yourself well, and keep your energy levels really high, and your motivation and your passion about what you do and what you want from life. And naturally, it will make people change their minds and their hearts about something, and present you with the truth. Like, okay, this is not the place for you, because we can't really give you what you deserve. And then you can start looking for a place that is better. Or you end up being the one who is chosen to lead in something, company or a project or something. Very important decisions coming up for you. And yeah, I wish you all the best with this. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is bereavement. So this being a block, I feel like there's something that can't really go on, and that you have to change completely, even though it might be a little bit painful. So this is what I'm sensing from this, but there can be so much more. Let's see what else is in the cards. What is blocking you and how to overcome it? What is blocking you? Yeah, start with the tarot first. What is currently blocking? Pile number 3. Organization, Mercury in Capricorn. impulsiveness, Mars in Aries. Health with the Sun in Virgo. Extremism, Mercury in Scorpio. Beyond illusion. This is the Judgment card in this tarot deck. Abundance with the King of Pentacles. Projections with the Seven of Swords. And conclusion, the World card. Let's get just one more card here. Wow, creativity, the Empress. So, I'm seeing many things here, but one of them, I feel like there's this, because you have organization. Maybe there's a structure here that is not helping. There's a, oh no, there's a routine here. There's a way of doing things. That's your block. And maybe it's kind of I don't see, it's not quite addictive, but it's more like repetitive behavior. And because of the extremism, it's negative. There's a negative connotation here, almost like an addiction to negativity. Although I am not saying that you are addicted to negativity. That's not what I'm saying. But there's an energy that is attracting negativity, attracting darkness. And possibly it's because you're trying to solve something in your routine, in your daily routine. And it's like you need just a little piece that's missing so that you can move on from this. But it's like you keep hitting a wall, hitting a wall, hitting a wall. And if you just have this a little bit more impetus up, you will jump over the wall and get over this. I feel like it's like get over something. Get over it. Get over it. Jump and get over it. Because it's almost like you want to do it, but you keep hitting this wall. It has to do with your daily habits of creation, of creativity. And I am suddenly reminded of a book that might help, and that maybe some of you already know this book. It's very famous. It's called The Artist's Way. The Artist's Way. Let me check the name of the author. Okay, so the name is Julia Cameron, and I just remember that I tried it myself, I loved it, and I would do the morning pages, and maybe some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So these are pages that you have to write as soon as you wake up in the morning, before you do anything else, even eat or, shower, anything. Before you talk to someone else, before everything. So you just sit and you write. And they're called morning pages because you are mourning. You are still kind of skimming, all the psychic dirt, let's say. And I am reminded of this also because of this card, because of bereavement. So maybe you need to mourn. And when I say mourn, in this case, is you need to get some things out of your mind so that you can get to the thing that you're really good at and that you really want to do. Because I feel like you're kind of repeating a pattern here that's unhealthy. And it's making you vulnerable. You really need to create something. And in order for you to do that, you need to break some sort of illusion. Because I feel like there's this, almost like this set, this, it's like a curtain that has a landscape. That's what I'm seeing. And you're looking at that curtain and you're thinking like, this is the landscape. But you have to open the curtain and see the real landscape behind that. And for that to happen, you need to make that effort, to open the windows and open and let the sun in and let all the information that you need in, the inspiration. So, and it's about the way you organize your day, you organize your routines. Okay, so it's funny because we have talked a lot about how to overcome the block already, the blockage. So I don't know, let's see what, because maybe there's more. So how to overcome this? How to overcome? We have empathy with the moon in Pisces. Romance, Mercury in Taurus. And, okay, two more. Status with Jupiter in Taurus. And eccentricity, Saturn in Aquarius. So it's interesting that extremism and empathy seem to be almost like opposites, because empathy is what you find in common with someone. It's also feeling the same as the other person or the other being. And extremism is polarizing, right? Is not finding common ground. Interesting. Having more pleasure in your life, also doing things that make you happy, that give you pleasure, that are having a more idealistic approach. It's like the seeing the world through rose-colored glasses again will help you see something that you value a lot and that you need in order to overcome the sense of loss. We have the Four of Wands with conclusion. 10 of Swords, ruin. Okay. Death card. Not being afraid of change. enjoying something that changes. Ace of Cups. And it's in the same position as in pile number 2. Interesting. Nine of Pentacles with gain. The Knight of Wands. And the Magician. Wow. This is really removing a block, a really huge blockage here. And it's through transforming your emotional state. Just give me a moment because there's a lot here. There's a lot about transforming how you feel, your emotional, transforming your emotions, how you feel about something. Because you nurture more empathy and love for you need to nurture relationships that are loving right now, even with yourself. And also with people who you admire. This is also very important here. Yeah. To nurture relationships that with people who you admire will give you very surprising benefits. And I'm not saying that you will... I feel like you're getting things in a way that you don't even understand. If you change your routine, changing your day-to-day life and your day-to-day routine, changing something very key about your routine. It can be just removing something that you're doing that is kind of an addictive pattern that can attract a lot of negativity or just attract a lot of polarizing views. So attracting people through the connection, through the empathy, through the loving, through the joy, and not so much through what worries you, what makes you afraid. I'm also hearing like share good news with others. And although sometimes it's good to kind of let out some steam and, talk about what bothers you, talk about what worries you, sometimes it just gets us stuck in a lot of negativity, and misery loves company. Sometimes it will attract relationships, or it will elicit states of being and of mind in others that are unpleasant, and it might drive people away. It's also interesting to note that with the eccentricity here and with the Magician, I feel like there's a wise use of technology. So having a wiser use of technology, and this might also be affecting your health, because we all know that using smartphones or being on the computer can have a negative effect on our health for many, many different reasons. Also because specifically social media can kind of mirror a lot of negativity and can be very triggering and constantly mess up our hormones and our reward system. So I'm also seeing that kind of this with the extremism and the health, organization, impulsiveness, so kind of really always triggering our lizard brain or monkey brain, and creating a little bit of an illusion. And the way forward is to use that wisely, to use that power wisely. I also see that you need to cultivate good friendships of people who are very, very knowledgeable and who have a lot of information and who have a lot of power also, to that they want to help you with something that they want to help you with. I feel like you have to get the ear of someone. You have to get the attention of someone. This is another layer of the reading that maybe has to do with whatever the process you are doing that would gain massively from, for example, the artist's way, which was the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this. So maybe you are working on something that is getting kind of derailed because you have the Empress here. You need to get that power out. And maybe you need someone to listen to you. That will change the mood. It will change hearts. Maybe you need to use technology for that connection and for that more joyous, loving connection with other people, and not so much just using it, for the sake of using, with the impulsiveness here. Having more intentional use of technology will give you a lot of blessings. There's a boldness here also, like the need to act like right away. I feel like this reading is also telling you that in order for you to remove this block from your life, this blockage, you need to act right now. There's a sense of urgency. There's a sense of, just do it. Don't delay. Start now. Don't start tomorrow, start right now. Using technology wisely, connecting to people who might help you, who you admire, and who sympathize with you. Connect with them, have a more human approach to things, and also to use whatever tools you have at your disposal to help you with your routine, your daily routine, to help you manage this impulsiveness, to do something without thinking. Impulsiveness is just doing something without thinking. But in a repeating pattern, that's how I feel here with the health. It's like something that is part of your daily life. And it's something that you do, like brush your teeth, comb your hair, shower, and check the phone, for example. So it's something that you do without thinking. And you have to start now. There's no better moment. And there's a lot that you get done. It's interesting also that once you get that under control and you are aware of what it's doing to you and you know exactly how to use it, you just get things done all of a sudden because you are optimizing your time. And I'm not saying like pressuring you into being very productive and obsessed with results, or obsessed with just, doing and producing, and, having like this obsession with the bottom line or something, because you have gain here, but it comes naturally and it comes joyfully. I even think that it's going to be bestowed upon you almost as a gift from someone. Oh, and one other thing that I see here is that if you start having more time to work on this creative project or on your own energy, your own mind space, you will also discover the uniqueness of your voice, of your opinions, of your own thoughts, because you will have more time to shape, your beliefs and your structure. You will also have more time to organize, to do things in a certain way that is more beneficial to you. You will also have more time to understand your priorities, because I feel like this energy here that's blocking you is kind of messing up with your focus and your priorities. That's how that's why I'm also always talking about your routine, because it's like an organization. It's the way you organize your life. And if your priorities and your focus are constantly being changed or messed with in a way, it's hard to keep track and it's hard to follow a certain line of thought and a train of thought, a specific reasoning. And I feel like you are going to discover yourself, to discover your own voice in this situation. Your own voice and the message you want to convey, because I feel like you want to say something. There's something you need to communicate also, but it's not in a possibly it's not in a verbal way. It can also be music or some sort of artistic expression that's more abstract, but that can convey a certain set of ideals or a certain set of values. So having a life that is more in tune with who you really are and with your essence, with the things that you love on a daily basis, and interacting with things that give you pleasure, but that also are honest and that they're forthright. They're also the energy that moves you and motivates you in a sense. Because I feel like this is someone who is being driven by extreme emotions. They can be good and bad, but they're very extreme. That's how I feel. And it's like these projections. It's like not really knowing if it's you or if it's the other. But here you have this transformation towards empathy, which is really deep, intentional listening and communicating. So it creates a connection, and projections don't create connection. They create disconnection because people are not truthful when they're projecting. And it's very hard for us. This is a very constant learning process that will lead us to self-knowledge, and it will lead us to ourselves mostly, but it will also lead us to healthy connections and to healthy relationships and to a much more fulfilling life, because you're not demanding things from other people that they can't really give you, and the same applies to you. So act now, start right now changing this, because this is just a matter of changing your routines and changing your habits. It will make a world of difference, and it will allow you to see beautiful things in the world again and in other people, because you have so many good people around you that possibly you're not contacting with because you're maybe busy with other things, and it's kind of confusing your energy. And it's also making people confused about you, possibly because it's like, okay, there's no connection there, or there was no communication after we talked, or there's kind of a missed opportunity that I'm feeling here. And the way you start changing that is that you fill your days with a deeper way of seeing things. And if you're constantly being stimulated by, the timelines, the different timelines from the different social media, and I'm talking because I have this experience, of course. If you're constantly having so much thrown at you, and it's so much to digest and to process, it's really hard to have your own energy, your own path, and to also communicate that with other people, because it's so fast paced and it's so crazy making. It's too much drama for you right now. I feel like you need more romance and more joy and love and empathy. You need that sense of connection, because it's hurting your health to see the world in this way. And you start now. Maybe it's a very specific message. Maybe some of you will connect with this. I hope so. If you also enjoy this, I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.